Perfect.
All right. Another Thursday, another production. We have a jewel in the house, Eric Blas.
You pin both.
My guy
Or is
from
he
Calgary,
bit axle
Alberta. We're actually recording this session, and he's our panel. Get your pen, paper, the old-fashioned out, and start writing your question, because you got someone you can ask a lot of questions on what to get to the level of success that he has. John, the session is yours. Please go for it.
All right. So a little bit of story about this phenomenal agent out in Calgary. I
John,
actually
you
met
just put
him
me in the
in.
spot. You know that, right?
What's that?
You just put me in the spot at the end of the day, right? Like you messaged me like 14, 12 hours ago about this panel thing.
Thank you. Thank you for showing up for us.
I was
Met
gonna
this
call in
phenomenal
sick.
gentleman in Montreal, and I was like, "Who is this guy?" And all of a sudden, I find out he is number 7, in volume. Sorry, by size, and number 12 by volume. And I'm like, and I start to get to know him through being in Montreal. Phenomenal guy, a great human being, and a family man, and sells a ton of real estate. But icon agent. So I'm gonna leave it to you. Introduce yourself a little bit here, Eric.
So my Tinder profile is I'm Eric Blas. I'm 33, male. Basically been doing real estate for 6 years, five to 6 years. Yeah. My background is in engineering. That was
Wow.
my wife in the background here. I also have ADD. So um, but pretty much, yeah, pretty much been doing real estate. I love it. My focus in real estate is just kind of have that work-life balance that most real estate agents don't have. And I've been very, very happy acquiring that in the last 3 years. And it all comes from good mentorship, right? Yeah, I mean, I'm also 4'11", not very tall. But I don't know how else you want me to keep going, John. Like it's just another
Four foot
guy
11
here.
laying down. Yeah. No, but you have a very interesting story, because what you told me was absolutely phenomenal, and I couldn't believe it, actually. So tell me about these Facebook groups. I'm gonna just jump right into it. So
Okay.
yeah, you purchase these two Facebook groups, and you do all your business, majority of business from that. How did that happen?
So the first thing, I've realized that, one of the main things that I've learned early on to my years in real estate is obviously overhead and costs, right? A lot of real estate agents tend to kind of just spend money, buy a stupid bus bench, try to kind of buy leads, yada, yada, yada. So for me, again, it's all to their own, right? So when I spoke to John of how I run my business, is that like my overhead is super low, right? If anything, the only thing I spend in the end of the day is probably gifts to my clients, right? Which is $300 to $400. But early on to my real estate career, I had these Facebook groups that I started nurturing, right? It's like very ethnic based, community based, right? It could be anything, right? And you become the brand to it, right? So you then meet up with you talk to the admins, you take them for dinners, and before you know it, that Facebook group, like that what do you call this? That picture, that sign that shows, outdoor community group, let's just say, or like British Columbia community group. I end up just, you know what? Let me buy this Facebook group because there's like 40,000 members here, and then I become the admin and have total control of you know, of the whole Facebook group, right? So now, basically, I have my mortgage broker is the face of that Facebook group, and that's it. So now everyone
Wow.
who's looking for real estate, I mean, I spent probably 40, 60,000 in the first couple of years with it, but I own it now, So the British
Yeah.
Columbia one that I own has 70,000 members there, right? So again, and then the other one in Toronto is around 80,000, the Calgary one's around 40,000. But I haven't spent any marketing afterwards with that. So all I
So
did
60,000 to buy those Facebook groups. And why do you have them in Ontario and BC? Like, do you do business there as well?
Well, pretty much, all the relocation. Our market's affordable, not like you guys. You guys are, it takes an arm and a leg to buy a house there. That's why your suits cost 3 times more.
That's true. That's true.
right?
Wow. So okay, and these Facebook groups, how many do you have total?
I probably have like six, seven, but like three
Wow.
confident, like three the ones that gives me a lot of business, right?
Three
And again,
good ones that give you business.
yeah, and what
And
I did was I focused on my mortgage broker, not on me, to kind of
oh,
cut my dollar per hour.
what do you mean by that? Focus on the dollar per hour with your
So,
mortgage broker.
so basically, what I did was like, look, man, I don't really want to talk to people. I hate talking to people, right? I'm gonna be honest with you on that one, right? So if I can have my mortgage broker do the first consultation for the first time buyers, all it does is just streamline to my business and be like, hey, my first hour at Starbucks or my first Zoom call, and then I pass it off to my referral partners afterwards. So that's why my dollar per hour, if you look at it, and I told you this before, that I only work 20, 30 hours a week, right? So
Wow, that's crazy. So, and as you become the admin, what do you post on these groups?
just complete nurturing, like being part of the community, right? You don't want to be some sleazy realtor that shows them your souls and closed all deals.
Yeah, yeah,
Show
yeah,
them
yeah, yeah.
like what's going on in Vancouver, what's going on in Calgary, what do you like doing, yada yada yada. This is what's happening this weekend, or like whatever, right? So it doesn't have to be super, real estate related, but at the same time, do show your closing deals, do show you did 150 deals last year, yada yada yada,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, you and your not even a team because you're solo. You guys sold 165 homes
Yeah,
doing what you do.
yeah,
That's completely insane. So, and you're not even okay, get this, guys. She's not even in production, meaning he doesn't go on listing or buyer appointments. Do you anymore?
no,
You don't.
I don't. Yeah, so for the
So
most
what the
part,
hell do you do? Like, what do you just sit in your chair and collect money?
no, well, I'm just trying to figure it out myself, right? I'm just trying to figure that out. No, but honestly, I do a lot of time with my family, right? I'm fully devoted, like I'm a very devoted Catholic, right? So I take my time, do a lot of volunteering at the same time. But again, be part of the community, right? That's why we pay for high taxes. I don't give a fuck.
Mm.
I don't have to mitigate my taxes just to, there's a reason why you're getting paid well, right? And, try to help the community, donating, just again, keeping busy is the hardest part.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you're very involved in the community, it looks like, and then, spend a lot of time with family. Obviously, you kind of have a pseudo team. Do you coach your agents or you just give them leads?
Man, that's your job, man. I'm just kidding.
Well, you can send them to my trainings. I'm happy to do it.
No, like I said, for me, like I am like their, I motivate them. I help them a lot as well too. When they have all these questions about like, again, I have this one girl on my team, Reagan, and she knows the rules of all the real estate board in my city, right? So usually I would ask her and then answer for them, right? I'm really bad at it, but again, it's just more like moral support, this is the decision making. So for example, like, one of my agents like, hey, I want to get paid on firm. I don't want to wait for closing on one of the builders. So say that this builder is, you know, again, similar layouts on the property. They just have to pick A or B, but this builder is gonna pay you on firm. So just say that to the other builder, and so like little advice like that here and there, right? But again, my team is more like family for me as well too.
Wow.
Uh,
Okay.
we do a
How
lot
many
of.
on your team? And not even official team, but how many people do you work with?
I work with six. Yeah,
You have six. Okay.
yeah,
So
yeah.
so six people, and I think two of you guys are on in the top 100. Is that correct?
Yes, one of them was another icon agent as well too. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then
Amazing, amazing
Tommy
stuff.
hit also number 7 or 8 in March as well too.
Wow.
One of the
Okay.
top producers in Alberta. Yeah.
That's incredible. So when did you get out of production? 3 years ago?
Probably like two years ago. But you
Two
know what?
years
I
ago.
can't say that I'm not in production because it's more of a lifestyle for me now.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
feel like I'm working. That's the whole
That's
purpose.
fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Um, but in terms of, like meeting up with clients and stuff, it's just more like, their housewarmings.
That's awesome. Just
Yeah.
building relationship at that point, but the actual like legwork is done by your team,
Yes, yes.
so
Just
to speak.
showing
Okay.
the houses and everything. Because like,
Yeah.
well, for the most part, my guys, all they have to do, and I showed this to you before, right? since it's already streamlined with my mortgage broker, they already see what they're pre-approved for. All they have to do is show houses,
Right.
right? And negotiate at the end of the day, right? So all the leads that's been given, like that's been streamlined, are already gimmies. They don't have to cold call. They don't have to do any of that stuff anymore. It's literally, here's an approval for 900,000. This is the area, go, right? And that's it, right?
We were just talking about this with our team. I mean, Filipino people all stick together. They all want to help each other in the community. Like Taiwanese people, we just want to kill each other, right? I don't want to see you win. So besides
Bro,
becoming Filipino, what can we do as agents?
but look at that. Like my agents don't even speak Filipino.
What's that?
My agents don't even speak Filipino. I'm the only person that speaks Filipino.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a lot of my agents are, one's Vietnamese. Three of them are like born and raised here in Calgary that are Filipinos. One's pulled up in a tattoo sleeve, like you can't even reckon, like a yakuza. Like my other agents, two of my other, again, Caucasian agents are all 6'3" that gets intimidated by, four. No, man, they don't. I'm the only one that.
Oh, I thought the whole team was Filipino, but it's only you.
Well, no, the other guys are Filipino, but none of them speak Tagalog. They don't speak Filipino, right?
Really?
So they don't even see me, and they get pissed off. I'm like, I'm the Calgary Filipino realtor, but at the same time, it's the nurturing side, right? That's the whole purpose of you know, and I think that's how I can tell for new agents is that what I did is full on nurturing to my friends and family. All I
Mm.
did 7 to 8 hours a day when I started real estate was talk to someone. Like you like constantly be talking to people, right? And just to have that good juju, right?
Where were you talking to people? Were you talking to people in person, like online? When you first started, what did you do to do that for 7 to 8 hours a day?
Well, first off, again, I would start off in the morning is I just pray. I'm like, look, God, give me a sign that to kind of help my business to grow, to get
Mm.
that positive mindset, right? And then from then on, I just go to work on my Facebook friends, and I'll
Yeah,
be like,
yeah,
yo, what's up? How you doing? It's been a while. I know I sounds like a
right.
sexy fucking realtor, but I just want to let you know this is what I do for a living now, right? I just started wearing my knee pads, man.
Wow.
I just got my knee pads on and be like, you know what, I'm
John
happy, right?
Johnson and Johnson baby oil as well, I guess.
So I went Diddy, man. That's how we do it, right?
Oh my God. This is getting deep.
Oh man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But so and through these through this tough market, right? Because 6 years ago, Calgary was actually tough.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did you come out of that tough market and become super productive?
I don't know, man. There's no such thing as a tough market at the end of the day. You just
Mm,
gotta work with what you have, right? So like if the market is slow, then start investing in marketing the shit out of you, right?
mm,
If someone's not doing it, that's your chance to start really boosting, your production by just, at the end of the day, regardless of how tough the market is, there's still time for you to communicate with other people to build your business.
mm. And you
That's
did
how
that for 7, 8 hours a day for the first 3 years of your business.
Yeah, every single day. But again, at the same time, that's where I had to slow down my productions because I'm gonna lose my family as well too, right? Like,
Mm,
you're working 12 to 15 hours, or you know, prospecting for 78 hours, and then all of a sudden you're showing houses, right? You're working from 9 to 9, right? You're
yeah,
gonna
there you
lose. You're
go.
gonna, your wife's just gonna give you the separation agreement and be like, "This is how much you're paying for spousal and child support." And then I was like, oh shit, I don't want to deal with that shit, right? So again, that was a story that I learned from my mentor, not me. So,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
but you know what I mean, where like you have to kind of, have that work-life balance and to just really just stop listening what's around you or how the market is shitty, blah 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 blah. Just you
Mm.
do you, man. Just be John Sai, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. So it sounds like to keep your mindset strong, you stay out of what people tell you. You pray in the morning,
Yeah.
and then you just get the fuck to work.
Yeah, fuck everyone else. Focus on what's more important for you, right? You know,
Amazing.
it's not about the money. That the money will come, but if you're in good faith and just have good juju all around you, people are gonna gravitate. Your business is just gonna keep streaming, keep coming to you, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
And
why
you,
we got
man,
along so well. You know.
yeah, exactly. And you really have good juju. And I don't like to be around negative juju, obviously, right? So beyond, not listening to anyone else, you doing you and praying every single day. What else do you do to keep that high energy and a good positive vibe?
Honestly, like you just gotta be the right. You gotta be around with the right people. To be honest with you.
Mm,
To have that good juju, you can't just be in the same juju with people that are all like super negative. Just like I said, right? If when we met at at that EXP con, right? People were like, "What the fuck? What do you mean over your overhead is this?" You remember we had that conversation? What do you mean this overhead? I'm just laughing. We're all just laughing, and then all of a sudden, again, this is how you see how people are, right? If there's a fucking table there, right? And you want to put a name on it, just put your fucking card and be like, I'll pay for the bill. Who cares? We don't have to have it. You know what I mean? Just good
yeah.
mindset, kind of just like, let's call it a day, positive vibes, and then just, I don't know, I'm just rambling off. But do you get the idea what I'm saying?
I get it. I get it. Which leads me to my next question. How much do you think about what other people think of you?
Oh, I don't give a fuck.
How do you get there, man? Because a lot of people, we just are so aware and we care about what other people say about us.
Man, I mean, God has already built how you are at this point. Man, like if I'm gonna look at the media that you have to be 6 foot tall or whatever and blah 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 to be this and yada yada, you're just gonna be just in this downward spiral. So look at my
Yeah.
cup right now. It says "Good morning, beautiful." You know what I mean?
Oh, I
That's,
think I have the same cup.
I think so. I got this from I got my daughter got this to me.
Oh, how many kids you have?
I got three,
3 kids? How old?
9, 4, and 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got a crazy life. Does your wife work?
Uh, she, I I do encourage her to work. Yes.
Good answer. Good answer. That's
Right?
awesome.
Right? Like,
Wow.
I mean, like it's good mental mindset as well too, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
you know, I also like yeah, no. Yeah, she loves working, I guess, right? She's a nurse. She's a nurse.
She's a nurse. Okay. 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 Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, what do you do now then if you spend time with the kids, be involved in the community? What else do you do to try to keep busy? And what do you see for yourself in the next 5 to 10 years in real estate? What does that look like for Eric?
I mean, for me, it's like I've been investing
Hmm.
uh heavily in the market, right? For since I was 22. And I told you this,
Wow.
right? And how again, my wealth was not from real estate. Well, I'm not wealthy at all. I just do all right, right? But I've again, I'm I'm always constantly I always try to keep myself busy at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I said, like before when I was taking some medication for my ADD, it really
Mm.
capped my abilities. And
Mm.
like today, what did I do today? I woke up at 10. You know,
And
So,
we're here. We're basically here.
we're here, right? I got my hair cut. It's trying to grow my hair again. I got a couple calls with a couple of my friends that we're gonna go to the driving range, and then I was thinking of flying out to see you,
Just because you can.
right?
You get
But at
Uber
the
a lot.
same But at the same time, I still stay grounded, man. I still
Yeah.
drive the same old fucking car. You know what I mean? Like, even though I want to buy really nice stuff, I just try to, the whole focus for me is to just really stay grounded and really humble yourself at the end of the day.
Wow.
I love hanging out with people that are in the same mindset as me, just like you. I mean, I wanted to go to Hawaii with you when you told me to. When we talked.
Just because you can.
No,
Yeah.
it's not that I can. It's because I'd rather spend my money on enjoyment instead of like fast cars and
Experiences.
stupid
Yeah.
shit, right?
Yeah.
Experiences.
Hmm.
That would have been
Hmm.
an experience for me seeing John Sai again in Hawaii of of good
Yeah.
juju,
I'll do
right?
you one better. I'm gonna come to Calgary to see you.
Oh man, I got like 30
Yeah.
on tickets. We're ready to party, man. Tell you
Let's
that.
go. Let's go. All right. So now we're gonna do something fun, guys. Why don't we open it up for some questions from the audience? Anybody on Zoom or here?
Oh my God.
Go ahead. Yeah.
When you first or so what is your Facebook group called before you purchased it?
So it's still the same name. Like I have the guy that when I purchased it, it's called like Pinoy Canada Calgary or Pinoy Canada Toronto. Right? You know,
Korean girl
Just
Esther.
tracking.
Just Pinoy Canada, Pinoy Canada, Calgary. That's it.
or Pinoy Canada Toronto, yeah. Toronto and BC. I got Filipinos in Calgary. I got, you know, and all I did was like, I talked to the admin, took them out for dinner, and just be like, hey, let's can I be an admin? And then throw out cash. Be like, hey, this is 15,000. I'm gonna buy it off you. You can't, you know what I mean? That's what I did,
Wow.
right?
He spent 50,000.
15,000,
in
15,000.
return,
I started with 15,000. And they said
15.
no.
Oh,
Then
15.
yeah, 1.5. So in bands.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I'm like, I want to buy it because I saw potential to it, right?
Yeah.
So,
And
and
you have 6 groups, right?
6 groups. Yeah.
yeah,
The other groups called.
It's-
they're all Filipino based, but I actually have a lot of community based as well too, right? That I'm starting to build up, right? But again, a lot of like I said, like for example, like with the 160 something deals that I did last year, I think 70 was from Ontario and Surrey, right? That's
Oh,
all.
referrals or
Like they'll message this group. Let's see if I can just get it here. So this one only has this one has 25,000 members, right?
wow.
And then all it does is that they'll see my mortgage broker's information there, Jillian
Mm.
Cortez, right? And it'll just be streamlined there. And it's funny because like Jillian was number 1 in MCAP for lending last year. So for the most part, yeah, it's also just streamlined. And again, just constantly be part of that group. And you can do it. You said you were Korean? Yeah, like my friend who's a big realtor here in Calgary bought the Korean newspaper and like literally just yeah, like and just kind of just use that to his advantage, right? It's just more of like how do you get that like that infinite loophole of advertising for yourself instead of having someone somehow have Pattison to be like, okay, it's $15,000 for this billboard, right? Every single year, right?
Yeah.
Like
Wow.
the goal is to find that loophole, right?
Mhm.
Constant, and even then, like I have really good friends in the like I guess one of the things that I did as well is just like some marketing agents. There's there's another story. There's another story for that, but yeah,
Start it now or go buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
just buy it.
Go ahead, Masood.
So, what do you post specifically to get the people to raise their hand and say, I'm looking to buy right now?
What do you post specifically on those groups to get them to put up their hand to say they want to buy or sell?
Don't focus on trying to be the salesman there. Try to be the guy who just wants to create conversation with you. That's pretty much it. Because the moment that they constantly see you, they're gonna click in your profile. Oh wait, this guy's a realtor, right? And then the sign is already there as well too, right? That big sign, that billboard sign that I have on Facebook will be like, oh wait, that is the realtor guy, but he's just making conversation, right?
Hmm.
Your job is to be a friend. You're like the purpose of it is just to be a friend with the people around you and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
So it's not your,
It's not the post. You're just creating conversation.
you're just creating conversation, right? So like there's a post there of like some food that's whatever. Oh, I'm gonna order some, right? So you're constantly, if you look at the feed, right, you're just gonna be, oh, I'm ordering some food here. Like there's someone's
Why don't
making
you why don't you go look at the page? Pinoy Canada, British Columbia. You can see what's posted on there.
yeah,
Yeah.
like like all of my job is to just create conversation with them at the end of the day, right?
Amazing.
That's all the purpose is, right? And then like again, the purpose is not me as the face, right? So for example, here, right? if you know, if you look at it, right, this is Pinoy Canada, Calgary. I know it's
Yeah.
tiny, but again, the person that's like, I used Omni as one of my sources, right? Uh, again, it's, where is this? Hold on.
And
My
do you get VAs to post for you?
It takes 2 minutes, man.
Oh, really? It's you.
Yeah, it takes 2 minutes,
Wow.
right? You know,
Go.
like over here, right? Like if you kind of look at it, John.
Yeah.
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 Like I have my mortgage broker being the face. It's all,
Nice. You got everything on there.
yeah.
Wow.
So
Anything
again,
and everything.
yeah. So again, it's just,
But real estate, actually. But real estate.
yeah, everything. Yeah, you just be the face of that Facebook group, and like basically, like you
That's
can
crazy.
make, like, I don't know, you can make it an Asian for Asians in Vancouver. You know, Asian
Wow.
Avenue.
Asian Avenue. Bring it back.
Bring back
Uh,
Asian Avenue, bro.
hey, JP Villanueva. Are you here? I know you got some questions for Kuya over here.
Oh, when he started industry, we were chatting at each other the longest time.
Oh, I don't think he's here. Oh
Oh.
shit. Anyway,
He was.
he was. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, cool. Any other questions? Oh, are there any other realtors in those groups?
That's the Once you buy them, it's called monopoly. Clean them out.
Keep them up. You're the admin, right?
You're the admin. You have every control of it. It sounds
Oh
cruel. It is
man.
what it is.
So we literally have a database of 25,000 people
Yeah, pretty much.
or 70,000 people.
Yeah.
It's like an endless loop of, people that you talk to.
Yeah. It's just great conversation for them. Right.
That's phenomenal.
There's
Yeah.
also Edmonton
Learning
as
a
well
lot.
too, Winnipeg. Again, it's all like great. There's even this one right here. Where's that one? Let's see here. There's this guy here, this digital creator. And oh, one of the things that I actually use as well too is influencers.
How do you
Yeah.
use?
So I'll pay up an influencer every now and then, like $500 to tell them about my business.
Oh,
Yeah.
like a commercial on the page.
Or even on YouTube,
Oh,
right? So like I have this guy that has over 178,000 people in Facebook, and I'll
wow.
tell him to discuss about real estate and he'll interview me, right? So I also use, so when I'll or TikTok influencers, and I'll have them have that conversation about real estate, right?
Wow.
So influence like $500, that's like $500 with five like solid leads. It's the best thing ever. Yeah.
So it almost seems too simple. How come nobody's doing this, Eric?
Just I don't know how I can do what you're doing right now, right? If you know, for the most part, it's just for me, it's just comfort, right?
Yeah,
I've always wanted to do what you're doing in terms of trying to generate, re agent attraction, but I feel like I'm not ready there yet, right?
right.
So again, that's my answer for you, right?
Yeah, you do you. You do you. Yeah, I love it. All right. Any other questions on Zoom or here in person?
I didn't even know there's people here.
Uh, questions from LA, Jack Sai? No?
One more question.
Yeah, one more question.
Since you're very involved in your church, do you have a lot of clients in your church? Like, do you work with a lot of people?
I'll just get a random call, to be honest with you, at the end of the day for the churches and stuff. Probably from the last year, I probably got like 14, 15, like 14 to 15 deals at this church.
Just 14, 15 deals.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it, Esther.
Yeah, but again, but what I do is like, so the churches that I go to, because I'm Catholic, right? So I just go to every other church, right? I do.
What?
Because I'll wake up at 11 a.m. in the morning and I'll be like, oh shit, I missed my 10 o'clock church. So
Yeah.
I'll go to a 12:31 or whatever. But I do, like, if some of the churches have like bulletin boards, I'll actually sponsor that spot. And it's just like, what, like $500, right? And then you wait for them till they ask you, like, hey, I'm wondering if you can have that next payment. Sorry, I'm bad at that. But
Oh man. David, I know you got something to say about this. No? What can you do?
What can I do?
Yeah. What are you learning from this? I know you could do this.
Just be more like conversational with social media, like any platform. Just be more engaging with people and not be so salesy. Just
Yeah.
just
Talk less about real estate,
yeah,
actually.
talk more about life and build relationships.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting from this.
Yeah, for sure.
is David Filipino?
No, guess what he is. Guess what he is.
Is he like Polynesian?
He could be.
Yeah.
And when you say you don't have to be 6 feet, he's 6'2". Asian
Yeah, and
guy.
I can tell. Look at him. Look at his torso compared to Buddy on the right.
Buddy on the right is pretty big too.
I'm just fucking. I'm sorry. See, this is how I work, right? I just mess around the whole time, right? But again,
That's hilarious.
like I have a buddy that's like 6'3". He's a big heavy hitter agent, and all he did was sponsored basketball teams left, right, and center, right? You know, I mean, there's so many ways to do. To bring,
Yeah.
You just have to do it, really.
So many different ways, and you're just. I mean, what I'm getting is also you got to be consistent with posting. You got to be consistent with sponsoring stuff. You're just out there constantly contributing and having conversation with the people.
Yeah.
Ultimately, yeah. Good.
No, that's
Good
pretty
deal.
much it, right? Like,
Yeah.
I didn't even read your sorry, I didn't even read your questions.
You know what? Like I said, those questions, it's just a conversation today. It's not, I don't ever go through the questions actually. All right. Any other questions on Zoom? Yeah, Teddy, they're both tall as fuck for sure.
If I may jump in there quickly, Eric, at the beginning you keep mentioning about nurturing, and that's one of the biggest hurdle with the agents out there, that they're failing out on follow-up and nurturing whoever comes in to work them. They maybe call once or twice and then they give up the rest. Can you tell us more on the level of nurture that you expect from your team and the people that they work with you, and give us more detail on this nurture method?
Just be a friend, right? Your job to nurture is not to create a deal out of it, but just to create relationships with them, right? If you end up being so salesy, of nurturing should be like like a step-by-step process of how to get to close a deal. It's a step-by-step process of being a human being, right?
Ooh.
Like a normal human being creating conversation. Like that's it, right? And I think that's one of the reasons that I'm fortunate, with my business, is that all I did to create clients, or well, for me, friends, is to be like, yo, man, how's it going, man? How's the kids? How are we doing? Blah blah blah. When are we going golfing? Sometimes I'll go to the launch pad and I'll invite like 20 of my friends randomly for just the hour, but they pay afterwards, right? But that's the thing, right? Just like create those kind of conversations with people, right? Nurturing is not about just have a step-by-step process to, I don't know. Yeah, it's just being a human being, really.
Just creating a
Wow.
relationship. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, I want to know where your agents are getting more involved too. So are they involved into that community on Facebook right now with an engaging with people conversation or creating conversation, or are they getting involved after the mortgage broker actually getting things done with the
So
people?
honestly, for my agents, obviously once they're working with the client, now they start nurturing with the clients, and it kind of grows with their business as well too, right?
Mm.
For the most, but again, I have other agents that that are focused in one certain area. Like, I have that Icon agent that you met, John. He focused on sponsoring 7-10, basketball teams, you know, and that's how he builds his streamline of clientele, right? I have one other person that's focused, that's spends his time and volunteering at the Calgary Police, and that's how she brings her client as well too. I got one person that's more focused on like the tech side, right?
Mm.
That are also bringing in their clients as well, right? So my agents are not depending on me, but we're all kind of just working together, try to push, to motivate each other. Like I said, it's a family, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I would love to get John's opinion on this, but I'm going to go ahead and we'd love to have you at a team leader meeting once and tap into the leadership on the other side of the equation. I want to dissect your brain and see how it works, my friend. Trust me.
I like to be under the radar.
Yeah, I didn't even know who he was until I actually met him, right? Like he's so unassuming and so like, you know, just friendly. He didn't even, like he used
Super humble.
to say like I've done 165 deals. People who have done 165 deals in a year have some ego, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
Eric's got nothing. So
Nice.
not
Well,
nothing, but like, you know, no ego, right?
and look at that.
No, I still have
Yeah.
ego, but I just don't give a shit anymore.
Love that. I love that.
Right?
All right. All right.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me here, John.
Yeah. It, you know, but before we go, there's one thing I ask is for you to kind of inspire us. One piece of advice for all the agents for 2025 here to encourage them to take more action.
Have faith, really. Have faith. I think that, you know, just saying that word faith alone kind of will strive your business, right?
Wow.
Because
Yeah.
again, you know, if you can't do it by yourself at the end of right? But if you have this strength, that some uplifting strength from a higher power, your production will be a lot better. You're just in a better mindset. Uh, yeah, just have faith. That's how I see it. Like have faith in your business, have faith with your family. That using that one word every morning, it's like that positive affirmation will just really streamline your business left, right, and center. Right?
I love that, man. Have faith. That's I've interviewed hundreds of people and I've never heard that before. So thank you. Have faith, guys.
Thanks,
All right.
man.
I appreciate you, Eric, and I'll see you in Calgary. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you
Thank
soon.
you, Eric. Thank you, John. Appreciate everybody. Have a great day. Take care.
Thank you, everybody. That was awesome. Thank you.